wake up with regret inside my lungs. I don't wanna wake up with sadness on my tongue.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. It's Jasmine. I wanted to do a little bit of song in my background here. So I just got a little something playing. So I don't own the rights to this music playing in the background, just so you know. But I wanted to share a little bit about just in general, like things I've noticed this last year since I've been going through my healing. It's been really cool seeing the changes in both me and people that are associated with me, either at work or in my personal life. It has been magical to me to see the differences in people's lives as I have been ascending and I have been working on myself and we're releasing these, wounds and the emotions. I have now noticed friends of mine that are living states away from me across the United States, going through the same thing. They're going through tower moments. They're going through major changes in their relationships, in their careers, and we're all doing it together, and it's amazing to see that, how we're all ascending together. And I know that I have a part in it. Is we do our work on ourselves, it helps the collective as a whole. And I've learned that now that, we're all connected. I knew that. I knew we're all connected, but seeing the changes, and we're all going through it the same year, especially, it's like, wow, like we're all making some very similar changes of dropping toxic people, setting healthier boundaries, setting our standards higher in our lives. Even with a couple of my girlfriends, they're doing that. And I wasn't even telling them what I was going through. Like some of these people, I went months with hardly talking to them. And when I've recently connected with them, I'm hearing all these changes they're making. And it's like, the smile comes to my face. And I'm like, just knowing that I had something to do with that because I did the work on myself. I worked on myself. And that I'm sharing these things with others. They may not have even heard about it. And then they're already going through it at the same time. And I've known these people 15 years. Some of them 15, 20 years. So it's amazing to see that I made that choice to do that. And it's helping the collective. It is helping the collective consciousness of humanity. And those people that are closely, my soulmates, that are closely, connected to me energetically on a soul level. And just, I feel like you should just take notice of people in your life with the changes that you're making in your life. Start taking notice of what changes are those that you feel like your soulmates that have been in there for you, really, like your close people that are not toxic. Just really look at what changes are they making. Are you noticing a difference? Are you noticing that they're making similar changes in their life, whether it be their personal, relationships or their career or things like that? I just find that a lot of people that are connected with me since I started really doing my work. And so I love seeing that. And then now I know that, from this recent interaction that I dealt with this last week, I've actually helped somebody work through it. And I know that's my life purpose. I know now that's what I came here to do, was to work through my own trauma issues. And as I'm doing that, I'm sharing my story and I'm helping others by interacting with them and asking them the questions that I was asking myself. Like, why do you think that is? And, helping them dig into these wounds. And then afterwards, I hear that they were crying, that they were, expressing those trapped emotions, and that it really helped them. Me helping them in that moment really helped them work through a blockage that they had, and they didn't even know what they had, maybe. So I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen this next year, really in the rest of this year, but I know it's going to be something big. I know that it's going to be some major tower moments for people in my life, as well as me, that are going to happen. And I'm excited. I welcome it. It is scary, but, change is sometimes scary, especially if you're like me and you're used to very stable, repetitive lifestyle like I was living, where, I work a 9 to 5, or 9 to 6 technically, Monday through Friday. I have a very set schedule. I'm trying to get back to an exercise regime starting this week since my foot's healed up. and trying to get back to that, so I'm very regimented. I love sticking to a schedule. And so for those people that are like me, that come from a very regimented, stable, kind of lifestyle, it's hard to start living in the flow of the Spirit, and to start stepping out there beyond your comfort zone, like what I'm doing right now with doing these podcasts, putting yourself out there in the public. Yes, there's going to be some trolls out there. Yes, there's going to be some ridicule. Who cares? Those people have wounding and they need to heal it. That's all that is. That's what that is. And I'm just encouraging other people, that are connected to me. If you see this, put yourself out there in some way, helping people. That's what we're here to do. We're here to heal ourselves and start helping each other in the process. Look for ways that you can help people, that you can reach out to them and do something for them, pay stuff forward, do a gift for somebody, heck, if you have the extra money and you can pay for somebody's groceries, an elderly woman or somebody, just, pay it forward, and you just never know how that could affect people out there. And even just a word of encouragement, just knowing that you're in somebody's corner, that you've been through something similar, just sharing a story with them or just giving them a word of encouragement just makes a huge difference to some people. You never know what people are going through, and they won't tell you. And that happened to me this last week. Like I think I recorded an episode a little bit ago that I shared. I don't know that I'm going to share it, but I might re-record it. I might just go ahead and share it right now. Let's just do that. So, because I think this is a better recording anyway. So, earlier this evening, I was trying to record what happened to me this last week. So, this was so crazy, and this is how Spirit works, and I know this is how the universe works. So when you're starting to heal and you're starting to work on yourself, and you get to a certain level, like I'm being pulled to go into teaching, into mentoring people, to work through their issues and their traumas and things, as like a life coach. And so like a spiritual life coach. And so I don't know how to do that. I'm just a person, Yes, I've had a corporate 9-to-5 job, the last several years. I love it, but I'm being called to do something more with my life. A spiritual purpose that I believe is eventually going to be my career. I believe that is the way God is pulling me into this, is to do it full time eventually as a career. And I don't know how it's going to evolve. I don't know how it's going to happen, but God will make a way. God will bring the right people at the right time, and it'll come together. It'll be beautiful. It'll be magical, because that's the way He works. That's what He's done in my past when things needed to happen. Those people came and they made it happen, and God used them. So, I know I'm being called to do that. So I encourage everybody else to, if you're feeling called to do something for somebody or do something for like a life purpose, something like this, even if it's just part-time and on the side, it's your hobby. If you feel like inspired to do it. Don't be scared to put yourself out there. I was scared for so long. I was very self-critical. You see me on here with no makeup. I'm just being real here. I'm a real person, and I want to be as authentic as possible so that people can relate with me. I'm a real person. I'm just an average, lady. I now know who I am, though, in the Spirit. I know who my soul is, and I know now what I came here to do, and that is to help people heal through their wounds and help activate them into their spiritual awakenings, into their tower moments. And I'm literally like a walking, talking tower moment, if you will. I've learned that through experience, that once people come in contact with me, there's usually something in their life that changes soon afterwards. They have wounds that come up. They have situations happen in their life. Tower moments happen. And it's just par for the course. It's really like what I'm here to do. And I've just discovered that. So, hey, I'm here sharing about it. And one of the stories I have was this last week, I was trying to sell something. I sold something on Facebook, and then I had to buy, it was like a lawnmower, right? And I didn't want to buy a brand new one, so I was trying to buy a used one because I had limited funds about it for that budget. And so I got it. When I got there to meet the guy to pick it up and have him like demonstrate it worked everything. He immediately recognized me, and I sort of recognized him, but I didn't know where from. Turns out we were both on Facebook dating briefly. I did a brief stint on Facebook dating just to tip my toe in there months ago, back in December, just to kind of see what was out there, test the waters, whatever. And discovered that was not the way I wanted to go. It was a bunch of fakeness out there, and a bunch of people wanting to hook up. And so I do remember him from there, as somebody that was in Daphne, but we didn't connect on there. But I do remember his profile picture. But there was somewhere else that we were trying to piece. Where do we know each other from? Turns out we know a whole bunch of people in the local area, and we used to hang out with each other. Like, well, not us, but we've been at same parties like in the past, and we didn't even know each other back then. And so we were piecing these stories together, and it was really interesting to see the correlations. Not only that, we knew we had some kind of strong soul connection, that we were meant to meet at this time. And what was crazy is, I believe one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons, was not only for him, but for me, but for him, there was this very deep emotional wound that kind of came up. And I'm not going to go into detail in case he's watching. I don't want to put a lot of his information out there. It's just try to keep his privacy. But to give you an example, there was just a deep wound that came from his past that he hadn't expressed some emotions about, I guess. And he had only told maybe a couple people about it in his life. And I was one of the third, I guess, persons that he ever told. And he had just met me like a day prior to that. And so, I mean, we were, we paid pretty much like, I gave him my number, and I told him, I'm like, look, he said, if you have any problems with the lawnmower, reach out to me. Well, I did. That's what got us connected in a deeper way, because I couldn't put it back in my car because it was leaking gas. It wasn't doing that when he demonstrated it, so we didn't know what had happened. We did jostle it around quite a bit to try to get it to fit my vehicle, so we think that kind of did it. But ended up he had to come over. I trusted him enough where he came into my driveway, and I demonstrated, what it was doing, and you could see it was leaking. We tried to fix it, ended up having to order a part. But while we were doing all that, we were talking. And so, I obviously had his number, and he had my number. And so I was like, I'd like to, I feel a connection there that maybe we could just be friends or something, get to know each other a little bit better. So we started talking, and turns out we had a whole lot in common, and it was pretty interesting. Met a good friend, and, he seemed like, that just had a lot in common, from our past. And so I thought, well, there's a reason for everything. But to know that I helped him in that way, like I was able to, we were just in the course of talking. I wasn't trying to do therapy on anybody. We were just in the course of getting to know each other. And when the subject came up, something he was sharing with me, it was pretty deep. I was asking questions about it. And I didn't mean to be like a therapist asking questions. It was like, I was just interested, and I felt the need to do it. I felt compelled to ask those questions. And obviously that was spirit. That was spirit working through me, trying to get him to work through that and get to that root. And as soon as I did it, I could tell it was like something deep. And he did tell me like the next morning that it really like helped him work through that. He didn't realize that there was something that deep that needed to come up, but it helped him. And he said he cried after we got off the phone that night. And he told me this the next day, and I was like, wow, how powerful that was. That I had that kind of impact on somebody that I literally have been talking 2 days with. Just getting to know them. And to know that I had, a part in helping him work through that. I know that's what I'm here to do. I know somehow it's going to evolve. It's going to come together. I don't know how, but that's why I'm putting myself out there, because I'm feeling called to do that, and making sure that people can see me. I'm a real person. I'm not an AI generated whatever picture. I'm a real person, and and to have emotions. So I just wanted to share that story, and I really hope that y'all, if you feel needed, if you feel like you can use my services, or that you would like me to try to help work with you, please feel free to reach out to me. I believe my email is going to be listed there in the description box, so that you can reach out to me. So just feel free to reach out or comment on this video and say, hey, can you reach out? But I would probably see it easier if you email me directly. So just do that. And I'd love to help you. I'd love to work with you. I will be having some paid services coming up to do just that. I haven't got that together yet, but if you're interested, please let me know. I would love to see the interest in that and just having, me work with people, because obviously I seem to have a knack for it. Because it seems to be probably what I'm here for, is to just guide people through working through those deep traumas and releasing that emotion. With somebody that's going to be non-judgmental. I'm not a judgmental person at all. So just, let me know. And hope this helps y'all out there. I'd love to see y'all for a future episode. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And I hope to see you for a future video, and I hope that I can help you in the future. Take care.